Now, what I can do if I purely want to just lock this and say you can't move on, say, to the next question until you've answered this question. Of course, I could do exactly the same as I've done with those other screens. I would add a display condition to the next button. And if I don't care whether they've got it right or wrong, I would use exactly that display condition, the screen status. That will just look to see basically whether the screen is complete, in this case, whether they've answered the question. That's fine, but actually you can do something a bit more subtle than that. And this is a question that we get asked quite often by our customers, as in, I only want them to be able to move on if they get the question right. And we can do that in Gomo, and I'm sure that you'll find similar mechanisms in other tools. But and what we can do, again, I want to apply a display condition. So I'm going to tell Gomo when I want to show that next button. We have this display condition here called asset correctness. Now, asset correctness, that just means, did they get the question right or wrong? So I choose the question, there's my multiple choice question. And so if the asset correctness is true, so basically if they get the question right, then show that next button. But it's only going to show that next button if they get it right. But what I could also do, because I could say, well, what happens if they don't get the question right? Well, a typical scenario would be that we're going to be really strict and say you can't progress in terms of, say, the assessment unless you get all the questions right. If they get the question wrong, I'm going to drop in a button here and align that. And I'm going to say if they get the question wrong, I want to show a review button so that they have to click that review button, and that's going to take them back to the part of the course that relates to the question that's being asked. So the first thing that I'm going to do is to tell Gomo what I want to happen when they click that button. So I add an action, again, these triggers here. And I'm going to say that I want to link to a screen, and maybe I want to just link out. I can say, well, actually, this actually relates to the content in topic 3. But now I also have to tell Gomo, when do I want to show that button? I don't want that button always to be available. I only want to show it if they get the question wrong. So what I'm going to do here, again, this is, if we're showing and hiding things, this is where the display conditions come in. So here, I'm going to add in the same asset correctness. I'm monitoring whether they've got that question right or wrong. It's the same question, but this time I say if the asset correctness is false. That just means that if they get the question wrong. So I'm just going to click update, save that. And let's just have a look at how that works. I'm just going to go to the top left. I'm just going to preview from that screen. If they don't get the question right, then don't let them move forwards. They have to then just review the material. So here, the correct answer is Brighton here in the UK. So if I get that right, I can give them feedback, and you can see that button's appeared. We just refresh that to do it again. We'll just have a look at what happens when I get it wrong. So now if I get it wrong, tells me that I didn't get it right. And now I don't have the next button. Instead, I have this review button. And if I click that, it will just take me to a different part of the course, as say typically to recap on that material.